Hey, it's your boy Deezy. We back with another live. Today, word has been out that a legendary brother, artist, Fat Man Scoop, passed away at 53. He passed away in Connecticut on stage performing. And it's sad that he had to go. Condolences to him and his family. Life is short. He died doing what he loved to do. That was most important. But he was young. 53 is young. We don't know why he passed away at the moment. But we all need to know you have to take care of yourself and you have to stay on top of yourself because you never know when your time is going to be. We only get one life. R.I.P. to the brother. R.I.P. to the brother. But yeah, we're going to talk about a few different things today, man. And I appreciate everybody that tunes in to SBGBTV. I really appreciate it. Because you know, it's not about the setback, it's about the get back. But first, I wanted to talk about these Fulton County, I think, COs. They just, I don't understand how us as people don't see the trap and trying to do anything funny inside a prison. The prison already has inmates for doing something that they shouldn't have done in society. You're there to monitor them, but you allow the people to influence you, to ruin your life. You can't correct this when you make that mistake. It's like it's something that you can't take back. I won't understand that, but I want y'all to check this out. This news clip here, and I want you guys to check this out.
Gold into the Fulton County Jail. Tonight, the Fulton County Sheriff's Office confirms it has an ongoing corruption investigation and 4 security officers who work for a contract company arrested. Channel 2 investigative reporter Mark Winnie is live at the jail where he's been poring over the warrants against these 4. Mark, you found some allegations that seem shocking.
Yeah, a Fulton County Sheriff's Office official says this investigation started in May and more arrests are expected. But for now, 4 young women are residents of the jail where they worked until yesterday.
They work for strategic security. I can confirm that they have all been terminated.
The Fulton County Sheriff's Office says it turns out 4 security officers working for a contractor at the county jail were security problems. Records suggest Briasha Tate admitted using a book to hide phones. Allegedly confessed to smuggling in cell phones in a cutout inside a book.
Yes.
Now one might say that Fulton County Sheriff's Office is throwing the book at her. After a corruption investigation, we counted 10 criminal warrants naming her. Records indicate after she reported to work Tuesday, she was transported to the Jail Investigations Unit's office, and that Ms. Tate stated she had sexual intercourse with an inmate inside of the bathroom in the tower on floor 7 South on 3 separate occasions. That Ms. Tate stated she brought a total of 6 cell phones inside of the jail and gave them to the inmate. That Ms. Tate stated she cut portions of the pages of the inside of a book and concealed the phones inside of the hole in the book. That Ms. Tate stated she brought strips, paper laced with chemicals used for smoking, inside of the jail on 2 separate occasions. That Ms. Tate stated she received payments from the inmate via Cash App for the contraband items she brought in and gave to him, and that her Cash App payment summary from the inmate showed a total of $1,682.
We can't screen for integrity.
Natalie Ammons of the Sheriff's Office says terminated security officer Regina Harris faces 3 warrants related to a contraband cell phone provided to an inmate. Ms. Ammons says terminated security officer Lacuna Ballard is accused of sending explicit photos and videos to an inmate, plus a couple of conspiracy charges involving conversations about how to bring cigarettes and cell phones into the jail. And Ms. Ammons says terminated security officer Anisia Silas faces a conspiracy charge involving a phone charger and a charge involving giving an inmate unauthorized food, namely a chicken pot pie. Now, Ms. Ammons says all 4 suspects were given bond, but as of late this afternoon had not made bond yet. We tried without success to find lawyers.
Hey, listen. They have a record of everything that they received from the inmates. They received $1,060 to do whatever they were doing to bring the inmates' phones and whatever in the prison. $1,060. This is what they received. One of the ladies, one of them. Now, this is one of them. They check the records and see that she only got $1,060. Was that worth it? Was it worth it to bring somebody something that would cost you your freedom, your career, get you a felony charge, everything that can ruin you? Is that worth it? I can't understand why someone would even put themselves in a position to go to jail for somebody that's already in jail. Influence and manipulation. I mean, maybe they were lonely. If you're lonely, trust me, committing a crime with someone in jail isn't going to change things for you. You have to understand that. If you're lonely, getting connected and trying to bring someone something in jail isn't going to change your situation. And I'm like, they have a record of the inmate cash apping her money, and she told everything. So, and she had sex with the inmate 3 times. She said she had sex with the inmate 3 times. He cashed after $1,060. She brought him cell phones inside the books. And now she's in jail, as he's in jail, but she has a fresh case that she has to take care of. And they didn't say what the bond was, but the stupidity of trying to think that you can outsmart bringing something inside the jail and continue to do it and not get caught. That there just puzzles me. But yeah. On to this one right here. Check this one out. Check this one out.
Attorney behind bars facing criminal charges himself.
He is accused of smuggling synthetic drugs to a client during a court hearing. Jason Miles is live outside the jail with new details for us this evening. Jason.
Hey there, guys. Defense attorney Jason Johnson is being held here tonight, but we're told he was actually taken into custody earlier today inside the criminal courthouse. A Houston defense attorney who usually represents the rights of defendants is now in jail as a defendant himself. 42-year-old Jason Johnson was arrested today inside the nearby criminal courthouse on felony charges. He's accused of smuggling synthetic marijuana to a client during a court hearing earlier this month with the help of at least one accomplice. Charges against Johnson, who's active on Instagram posting about his work, include possession of a controlled substance in a corrections facility and engaging in organized criminal activity. The arrest comes a year after Sheriff Ed Gonzalez established the Criminal Investigations and Security Division to curb contraband from entering the jail. It includes using drug-sniffing dogs, heightened screenings, and other measures. Last November, a 77-year-old attorney was charged with smuggling drugs to inmates just weeks before this detention officer was accused of doing the same thing. We spoke to prosecutors at the time.
This is someone that we're supposed to put our faith and trust in, that they would provide safety to the inmates at the Harris County Jail, and some of them are dying from drug overdoses. And this particular defendant is one of the suppliers.
According to court documents, Johnson and his client are also accused of using coded language in monitored telephone calls to coordinate their alleged plot. We went by his office in the Asiatown area today, but were told no comment when I asked about his arrest. And Johnson's first appearance in criminal court as a defendant is set for tomorrow. That's when we also expect to hear more about this case from the district attorney's office. Reporting live downtown tonight, Jason Miles, KHOU 11 News.
Be interested to hear what information comes out tomorrow in court. Jason, thank you.
Now, you're innocent until you're proven guilty. But if this attorney was bringing anything in for his client, he went to school for 8 years to become an attorney. 8 years now to become an attorney and to throw it all away to bring somebody synthetic marijuana. It's like the brain, man. The brain, it's like I don't understand it. I don't understand someone that would take the time to go to school and educate themselves for 8 years, eight whole years, and then throw it away to bring somebody synthetic marijuana. I swear this is why they really won't let us get in position. Because what was the value in that? And it's like, for somebody to do that, it makes it feel like they must have sympathy and allow sympathy to outweigh their judgment, as knowing that this is going to destroy my life. If I do this, I am going to destroy everything that I work for. And why would I want to do that? I just don't get that. I just don't get it. I just do not get it. I just don't get it, man. Yeah. Like look at the senselessness,
Developing tonight, we now know the name of the 19-year-old woman killed in a North Fresno shooting early Saturday morning.
Police arrested one person and are still searching for another. CBS 47's Sydney Charles joins us now live from the Fresno Police Department to break down the very latest on this investigation. Sydney.
That's right, Brian. Fresno police say what started as an agreement to fight turned deadly in the parking lot of a Rite Aid on Cedar and Nice at around 3 a.m. on Saturday.
This particular incident is tragic on so many different levels.
Lieutenant Paul Cervantes says 19-year-old Aaliyah Bondman and 21-year-old Penelope Mayer had prior history leading up to the shooting.
We actually understand that they were at a rap concert at another location earlier that evening. At some point, they were all at the hookah lounge. And then for reasons unknown to us at this point, they decided to move across the street to the Rite Aid parking lot. They had prior incidents with disturbances in the past. They mutually agreed to meet at this location to fight.
During that fight, Mayer fired a handgun, the bullet hitting Bondman in the upper body.
Officers and EMS personnel immediately performed life-saving measures, and they transported Aaliyah to St. Agnes Hospital. Unfortunately, Aaliyah was unable to survive her injury.
The person who police say provided the gun used in the attack is still on the run.
Detectives also identified 18-year-old Nevaeh Solomon as the person who aided Murd during the shooting. That handgun is a handgun that was in possession of Nevaeh Solomon. That handgun was used to mortally wound Miss Bondman in this event.
Police say the entire thing was recorded by a bystander who knew both of the women.
Because this particular video is considered evidence, I will not be able to share it with you, but I can tell you that the video itself was disturbing, it's graphic and shocking.
Lieutenant Cervantes says detectives are still asking for more video that could help the department's investigation.
We're going to be requesting that are out there that have video that was we're learning that other social media outlets or other platforms have some video.
And tonight, police are still searching for Solomon and the gun that was used in the shooting. If you have any information about her whereabouts or any information at all about this.
They out at the club and they allow some beef, whatever they was beefing about, to go into somebody giving them a gun and somebody dying. I'm telling you, your life can change instantly. It just takes 1 second for your life to change. That's it. It takes 1 second for your life to change. That's it. Check this out, though. The D.C. officer.
This is WUSA 9 News at 11, and we start with some breaking new details on a story we've been following for you since 6 p.m. A longtime D.C. police officer is shot on the job. Thank you for staying up with us. I'm Leslie Foster. Less than an hour ago, we learned that officer has died. Police released this
of the convoy that is leaving the hospital right now. We saw hundreds of officers here. We also know that D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser is also here at the hospital. A lot of emotion from them coming together to mourn the loss of that officer while they're here at the hospital learning this news. Now, as you mentioned, Leslie, less than an hour ago, D.C. police confirming what some of my sources told me earlier this evening, that investigator Wayne David did not survive his injuries. This all happening from an accident that claimed the life of a veteran police officer. Late tonight, MPD's executive assistant chief had words of praise for the fallen officer.
Wayne is a true hero to the District of Columbia, and today he gave his life to serve the visitors and the residents here in the District of Columbia, and we will never forget that.
That officer was collecting a gun out of a storm drain as evidence when that firearm went off. The bullet struck him in the upper body. We've learned that officer has been with MPD for over 25 years and assigned to Violent Crimes Division for at least 15 years.
He has recovered hundreds of guns across the city. He has been the savior to many scenes, to many people in our community. He is known across the community.
It all started around 5:40 Wednesday. Police say officers with the Violent Crime Suppression Division saw a suspicious vehicle and a man stopped and got out of the car. Police say when officers went to talk to him, he ran from the area and jumped onto 295 southbound.
Where officers observed him place a firearm inside of the storm drain.
That's when police say the suspect crossed over to the northbound lanes and jumped onto the back of a motorcycle and was able to get away.
There's no indication that he knows the person. However, that will be part of the investigation.
The investigation closed DC 295 in both directions for hours. And 295 has since reopened. Now tonight, police are asking anyone with information or who can identify that suspect in those pictures to contact them directly. That phone number is 202-727-9099. You can also text into that number and leave a tip. Now, again, emotional scene here outside of the hospital as they again mourn the loss of one of their own. A lot of people knew this man and a lot of them are heartbroken tonight. Leslie.
Of his family and his extended police family and the community that clearly he has done so much to help serve and protect. The number is on the screen. Hopefully someone will give police a call.
Well, in that situation there, the police officer shot himself trying to retrieve the gun out of a drain that he seen, I guess. Somebody threw the gun inside the drain and ran from him, and he tried to get the gun out the drain and the gun went off and killed him. So now they're looking for somebody, and they got a APB out for a suspect, and they said it's a reward. I think it's a $50,000 reward out for that. Yeah, it's a $50,000 reward. Yeah, but I mean, the guy threw the gun inside the drain, so I really don't think he should be charged with anything. You know, I like, as in for the murder, I think he should be charged for the weapon, but I don't think that's his responsibility for the officer retrieving the gun and a mistake happened. But, you know, when things happen and when a mistake happens, they usually go back to, like, even if the mistake happened, they don't care. So, we're going to see how that one goes, because usually they'll go back and still charge the person, as in if they did the killing, because their weapon was the reason. Yeah, man. But it's your boy Deezy, and we are here tonight. We are on live tonight. Holla at your boy. About to start doing live call-ins. Holla at your boy. Holla at your boy. Yeah, that DC officer shooting. Hold up. It's your boy Deezy. Yeah, man, and go check out that merch. SBGBTV.com. Make sure you check out the merch. It's your boy DZ. You know, we are in the building. You already know. Holla at your boy, man. Check that merch out. But yeah, the officer tried to retrieve the firearm out of there. And let me see here. Yeah. But being as though that
Kind of work the officer did. But we begin with our Jackie Benson. She is live outside MedStar Washington Hospital Center with more on the officer and his service. Jackie.
Well, just moments ago, and I think we have some video to show you, the flag draped remains of Officer Wayne David were brought from the hospital to a waiting procession of dozens of officers who will escort him to likely, I believe, the D.C. Medical Examiner's office. Wayne David died making his hometown safer. He is born and raised in the District of Columbia, went to McKinley Tech High School, and still lived here. And the officials who spoke tonight said that he was very adamant about getting guns off the streets of his city, that he was retrieving a gun tonight when it went off, and he was shot. I'm going to tell you a little bit more now about what officials tell us happened. The shooting happened at rush hour on the side of one of the district's busiest roads, I-295. Police say officers from the Violent Crime Suppression Division were trying to conduct a stop on a suspicious vehicle in an alley off the 4500 block of Quarles Street Northeast. A man got out and took off.
He then ran from the area and jumped on 295 southbound the roadway, where officers observed him place a firearm inside of the storm drain. But unfortunately, he was able to flee the area on the back of a motorcycle. We are attempting to locate that suspect. He is described as a black male with long dreads, wearing a white shirt and light-colored blue shorts.
Additional officers were called to the scene to recover the gun from the storm drain.
During the process of recovering the firearm from the drain, the firearm went off, striking that officer. The other officers that were here on the scene with him immediately began to render first aid. The officer was transported by helicopter from the scene here to a local hospital.
And he was a police officer for 25 years.
And I want to address and correct something that's kind of important is this was a situation where he was attempting to retrieve this gun. It went off and struck him. So the terminology that he shot himself, not quite accurate. The way that Chief Carroll laid that out was he was, remember, it was in a storm drain. So there was an attempt to get down and retrieve that. And at that point, when he was doing that, the gun went off and unfortunately took the life of D.C. police officer Wayne David. I'm Jackie Benson, live in Northwest. Back to you.
Jackie, thank you for, I think, clearing that up. I think that's certainly important to note.
Yeah.
And
it's really important.
And it's also important that his family and his colleagues know, that we have them in our thoughts and our prayers.
And it also underscores just how dangerous the job that he chose to do is, because he was trained for weapons retrieval in situations like that.
Absolutely.
And yet this tragedy still happens. Just such a sad outcome. Thank you, Jackie. Jackie Benson reporting live for us tonight from MedStar Washington Hospital. Now, as Jackie mentioned, investigator Wayne David was a seasoned veteran.
He served on a specialized unit that targets D.C.'s most violent criminals. Our team coverage continues now with News 4's Derek Ward. He has more on the types of cases investigator David worked.
This portion of DC 295 runs past neighborhoods like Kenilworth Gardens and the Mayfair Mansions. A woman was shot there just Tuesday evening. Now, the officer involved in this latest incident was part of a violent crime suppression unit, a division of MPD that takes a high visibility, highly interactive approach to fighting crime. It's one of the approaches citizens have been asking for in troubled neighborhoods. And as we hear from DC Police Chief Pamela Smith in an interview with Channel 4 earlier this year, it's a point of emphasis for her.
I looked at geographic areas around the district where we were seeing an uptick in robberies, carjackings, and burglaries. And that was my focus. I reassessed how we were utilizing our resources. I looked at the time of day and time of night where we were seeing the highest increase in crime, and I placed resources in those areas.
Recent reductions in the violent crime numbers have been largely attributed to this approach, but the higher incidence of interactions with violent offenders and repeat offenders add challenges to an already dangerous job to protect and serve, as evidenced by what happened here on DC 295 tonight. In Northeast DC, Derek Ward, News 4.
As of June 30th, 71 federal, state, and local law enforcement officers have died in the line of duty this year. That's according to the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial Fund. 62 officers died in the line of duty during the same time period last year. Firearms-related fatalities were the leading cause of line of duty deaths. Gunfire has killed 28 officers this year. Keith Williams was the last D.C. police officer who died in the line of duty in June of 2020. Well, the women and men who protect our city will be feeling this loss.
You never know. You don't know when.
This is WUSA 9 News at 11, and we start with some breaking.
Hold up. You don't know when. Hold up. You don't know when. Yeah. You do not know when. I'll tell you that. You do not know when. Let me see over there. Fat Man Scoop passed away, 53. It's like, wow. You don't know when it's your time. It's going to be your time.
Beehive, let's go!
You know I take. Hey, oh, take it easy. Oh. Take it easy. Fat Man Scoop. You know Fat Man Scoop get people off his feet. Every time. Every time. You know, he get you dancing. You could be going through something. It'll get you bopping quick. Yeah, man. You got to take care of your health. Exercise. Gotta get that rest. Yeah. Gotta get that rest. You gotta exercise. Yeah. You know, what is that? Hold up. I be thinking about, like, how do people think that they are really going to plan a hit for hire and it go through and it just go away? Somebody's going to tell on this situation. Trust me. It's like the situation is not going to get complete. Even if it's years down the line, it's just too much baggage over people's head that they think that it's just gonna go away. I don't understand that, man. I don't understand it. I ain't gonna lie, I do not understand that, man. What New York City mayor say about the smoke shop?
Okay, now another big part of this broadcast. It is Mayor Eric Adams joining us to talk about, well, a number of issues tonight. Mr. Mayor.
It is hot outside.
Yeah, it sure is. And Mayor, we appreciate you taking time out to speak with us. We have much to discuss with you tonight. But let's start with where you were today, and that is out on Long Island, where 4 tons of seized cannabis products were destroyed.
Extremely impressive. 4,000 shops were inspected, 1,000 were closed. We had a list of areas where residents were complaining about illegal shops. We went through that entire list, but we're going to stay ahead of the game. And today we want to show New Yorkers what happens to the seized property. It is destroyed, so it won't be recycled into our streets, and it won't fill up our landfills. And it was a pleasure being there as I used the controls to drop the illegal cannabis into the chute, and it was burned.
You know, it's interesting because, you know, walking around the streets, I think all of us have, certainly I've had the experience where, you know, not that long ago, it was like every other block, maybe even every block, there was one of these places, and you knew they weren't legal because there aren't that many legal places, right? We know that. So, and they're out in the open, and they had the signs up and the thing, and then the flashing lights. I don't see those so much anymore. So I'm wondering, are they actually going away, or are they just changing how they're selling the weed?
And great, that's a great observation. A combination of things, and really hats off to the governor and Speaker Hasty and the majority leader Andrew Stewart-Cousin and Jennifer Rajkumar for the Smokeout Act that she was pushing. What's happening is many of them are going away. They know we're on to them, but you have a few that are trying to play the game of changing the sign and turning some of the back rooms into the illegal operation. You would be surprised the creativity that we're finding where those are trying to skirt the law, but it's not going to happen. Neighbors are calling in and they're letting us know about these spots.
All right, so let's talk about a different topic now. Right now, your nominee for the city's top attorney, Randy Mastro, he is going through a pretty grueling confirmation process with the city council. Now, just yesterday, Bridget Ann Kelly, a former aide to Governor Chris Christie, implicated for her role in the Bridgegate scandal, gave some scathing testimony against Mr. Mastro, calling him ruthless and calling him sexist. What did you make of that testimony?
Well, it's, and many people talk about that, how hard-hitting it was. And let's be clear, I've said this over and over again, New York City, like America, we have a balance of power. What happens on the state level and the Senate level. So the city council has a job to do. No matter what happens, my job is to put up good, qualified candidates. And as you indicated, a person that was against him, there were about 40 people, even a former governor and other professionals that stated this is the right guy. He's a great New Yorker, great attorney. He represented his clients as strong as we want a corporation counsel to do.
And just to be clear, it sounds like you're saying you stand by him. You're not wavering in your support.
110%. I've looked at his record. I looked through what he has done, everything from suing on the Black Lives Matter, suing Donald Trump, what he has represented, and looked at the list of people who supported him, former corporation counsels and other affluent and important people part of the legal community. Listen, attorneys take tough cases. And if we demonize attorneys for the cases they take, that's a slippery slope, because then we're saying those who commit crimes or those who are accused of crimes don't have a right to due process. That's not the country I live in.
All right, well, November 5th is just around the corner now. We're less than 70 days until the election. We saw you at the Democratic National Convention. Can we expect you to see you on the campaign trail for Vice President Harris?
I'm going to do everything possible within the rules, and we look forward to the future of this country moving in the right direction with VP Harris.
All right. Another big story, of course, the first day of school. The kids are out playing, getting the last play in before school gets going. Talk about what's ahead. Is the city ready? I know you're going to say yes. Are the teachers ready? Is everything ready to go?
Are children ever ready for the first day of school? I used to hit that snooze button over and over again when that end of summer came about. It happened so fast, so quickly, but we are ready. Chancellor Banks had our new teachers there. They were excited, just the energy in the room, and we look forward to this year and all the learning experiences that's going to come from it. This is going to be an exciting school year.
Well, there has been word of a teacher shortage. How many positions are open still?
A few hundred, if not thousands. The chancellor is managing that, and we're asking everyone to be part of the recruitment effort. It's so important that we were able to do our job. We settled the union contract, one of the best contracts of the UFT has been able to receive, and so we're looking forward to attract those teachers in. And listen, it's a great occupation and a career, and I don't believe there is a career that's more important than planting the seeds of hope and opportunity in the minds of young people.
Let's talk about what's happening in the classroom. We want learning. A lot of attention lately has been on the cell phones as well. Should cell phones be out of classrooms? I know you said, I believe it was yesterday, that you don't want to go as far as some folks want to go, actually banning the cell phones from classrooms. Why not?
No, I do want to get there. I think that we should not have any distractions in our classrooms. Social media via phones, it has contributed to bullying. It has contributed to, I believe, suicidal ideations and really impacting on the mental health of our children. We want to do it right. It happened before. Previous administrations attempted to ban cell phones. They failed. And we want to take our time. My conversation with the commissioner, we have to make sure that we know how we're going to store it. What do we do with children that are real reluctant about giving up their phones? We don't want to be heavy-handed. We got to get it right, speak to parents, teachers, educators. And remember, there are several schools that are already banning cell phones. We want to learn from them as well.
All right. Well, Mr. Mayor, we thank you so much for joining us this evening. We know it's been a very busy day and a very busy week for you. We appreciate it. And stay cool in this hot weather.
Thank you. Take care. Enjoy the rest of the summer.
Yeah, no cell phones in the school, man. That's it. No cell phones in the school. Let me see here. This dude right here, right? He pleaded guilty to a murder for hire. I never understood, right, why people would even take on a murder for hire. And I'm going to play this on this one, though, right? I never understood why people would take on a murder for hire, because you're going to get caught. Why would you take on something with multiple people involved of taking somebody else's life like they're going to say, I'm not going to tell, and mean it? But listen to this right here, though.
This afternoon to federal charges connected to an alleged murder for hire scheme.
And those allegations involve a pair of nightclub shootings in Mobile 2 years ago and a deadly shooting outside a Mississippi casino. Let's bring in our Brendan Kirby now with more on this story.
And Brendan, the defendant in court pleaded guilty to the conspiracy charge.
That's right, Shelby and Lenise, and he did so reluctantly. He told his lawyer just today that he had changed his mind about pleading guilty, but then changed his mind again and followed through with that plea. Federal prosecutors on Tuesday connecting the dots between a string of 2022 shootings in Mobile and Mississippi. The Bank nightlife in West Mobile in September, the Scarlet Pearl Casino in D'Iberville 3 days later, the Paparazzi Lounge in downtown Mobile in November, and a Walmart Supercenter on Interstate 65 Service Road in Mobile 2 days after Christmas that year. It was all, prosecutors say, connected to an ongoing effort to kill a man identified in court papers as Person 1. The conspirators never succeeded in getting him, according to prosecutors, but they say they did kill two innocent people and injured several others. Jamaris Pierce was set to admit his involvement in the conspiracy and even began the change of plea hearing. But midway through, he denied being part of any effort to kill a man. The judge ordered a recess so that the defendant could talk to his lawyers. The judge even ordered the U.S. Marshal Service to allow Pierce's mother into the lockup area of the courthouse so she could talk to him. When the hearing resumed, Pierce entered the guilty plea. The holdup was over language in the plea agreement about a group chat on Instagram. Pierce ultimately admitted that he was part of that chat, during which prosecutors say co-defendant Darius Rouser discussed efforts to hire a hitman for 5 racks and 2 bags. Prosecutors say that's a reference to $5,000 and 2 bags of marijuana. Pierce also admitted that he was present at a truck stop earlier on the night of the Walmart shooting, where prosecutors say Rouser got a machine gun conversion device known as a Glock switch from co-defendant John McCarroll. And that federal plea agreement also offers the reason for that shopping trip to Walmart. Prosecutors say that they were trying to buy a metal box big enough for a cell phone that they wanted to attach to Person 1's car so they could track him. The judge set sentencing for December 5th. Pierce faces up to life in prison. The state charges in connection with the Walmart remain pending. Reporting live in the News Center, Brendan Kirby, Fox 10 News.
5 racks. This dude ended his entire life for 5 racks. $5,000 ain't enough, baby. 5 racks. $5 racks. Hold up, let me see.
For that vehicle that was involved in the initial accident and has given her hundreds of thousands of dollars. Tonight, neighbors telling me she's up to no good.
My interactions with her have not been pleasant.
This woman says she's familiar with Shaylin Duell's violent behavior. She asked Fox 13 to hide her identity because she's worried about possible retaliation.
She came from my car, slashed my tires, trying to beat me up. I did grab something to defend myself.
It all happened in this South Seattle neighborhood off 36th Avenue South just days before Duell was caught on camera. In this video, you can see her assaulting a 72-year-old man after court documents say she caused an accident while he and his wife were on their way to SeaTac Airport. Investigators say that dash cam video from the victim led to Duell's arrest, along with her sister, Weldon Shavira Carey.
It's just awful. Like, who does that? And first of all, you caused the accident, and then you want to beat somebody else up because, yeah, she doesn't take accountability at all for what she does.
Neighbors on and off camera told Fox 13 they're not surprised by Duell's actions.
She's just wild, man.
Court documents reveal the blue Range Rover involved in the July 30th collision doesn't belong to Duell. Investigators tracked down a Vietnam vet who admitted to buying the car and allowing her to drive it.
From jump, I knew that was like, I thought it was like a sugar daddy situation. I noticed her interactions with that old man and didn't seem like it was like a legitimate friend of hers.
Court documents state the vet also paid for this townhouse where Duell was living, admitting to investigators he had given her over $250,000. Neighbors told me they met that elderly man multiple times and suspected something was wrong.
Definitely so. I feel like she was taking advantage of him.
And we do know that vet is cooperating with investigators. As for the road rage and assault case, both Duell
they snapped out on the people because they hit the people. I tell you, woo! I'm telling you, they snapped out on the people because they hit the people. Oh my goodness.
Artist, right?
Well, I going back to jail, they started locking me back up.
You were trying to do that, though. You were trying to do
I tried it.
Yes. You had a manager.
Huh?
You had a manager.
Yes, I had a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they were controlling your social media feeds, etc.
Yes, true.
Okay. You put out music videos, true?
Well, my manager and them did.
Sure, but you were featured. You were starred.
Right.
It was your music.
Right.
Okay. Jeffrey never had the pleasure of having you featured in one of his songs. Is that true?
No, I ain't never been in his song.
Okay. And Jeffrey never was featured in one of your songs. Is that true?
No, me and him don't have music together.
All right. But he did put you in one song of his. You know the song Halftime?
I'm listening.
Do you remember the line, and I'm not saying this a quote, but something effective, if you mess with me, Woody will come up and pop in the noggin. And if that's not a quote, I'm not trying to misquote it, but that's what is that something like what it says in that song?
Yeah.
And the song is Halftime, right?
Yes.
Wildly popular song?
Yes.
And the police, when that song was released, the police seized on that to to use it against you, basically. You knew that, right?
Sustained.
From your vantage point, and what that means is you learned that the police was using that song. They were asking you about that song.
No, they told me.
Yeah.
One of them told me that I think I had got out shit. I got out one of the jails and they got me the next day. And they were like, yeah, man, now you at the top of our radar. It was something like, and he pissed me off when he said it.
He being the detective?
No, it wasn't no detective, it was the police.
Okay. The police officer upset you when they said
I think it was Dennis that said it. It was one of them that said it to me.
Okay. Now, that's the only time you're mentioned in one of Jeffrey's songs. Is that true?
What you mean?
There's not another song that Jeffrey, to your knowledge, mentions you.
Yes.
Okay. And Halftime, you know this, was made in 2000. It wasn't released till 2015, but it was made in 2014. Is that true?
Yes.
As I understand it, Mr. Copeland, your testimony is that you told many lies in these interviews in 2015, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I would like to just review with you some of the lies that you told, okay?
All right.
All right, thank you. First of all, I want to talk to you about the gray infinity. Okay?
I'm listening.
All right. Through the questioning of the police, and I don't know, maybe through other information that you've been given, you're aware that there's a surveillance video of the shooting of Donovan Thomas, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you're aware that the surveillance video shows a gray sedan, correct?
Yes.
And you're aware that the police believe it to be an Infiniti, correct?
They put it on the news.
Okay. Your Honor, I'm going to ask Mr. Kokomo to publish DS-19A, which is a clip from States 378 Yankee A, which is the January 11, 2015 interview, from 3/18/47 to 3/19/38.
Who's Walter Lee Maddox? Who? Who's Walter Maddox? Huh? No anything? Did y'all ever rent or own an Infiniti? Infiniti? Y'all ever rent one of those cars before? Have you ever been stopped in an Infiniti before? Yeah. From an accident in an Infiniti? No.
What do you got in that interrogation room?
Maximum.
Just kept
Have I ever had a car in?
No. He got in the interrogation room trying to talk his way out of there.
Anytime.
It was just
I had a car in Pontiac. That was a couple years ago. I ain't had no coverage. I ain't had no red.
That's how you gotta know. Them streets is dead. The rat came out on top.
The same night that Donovan Thomas was shot and killed, correct?
Can you say it again?
This is the same night. This interview was the same night that Donovan Thomas was shot and killed, correct?
I guess.
Okay. And Detective Thorpe, you heard him. He asked if you've ever owned or rented an Infiniti, correct?
That's what he said.
And you said no. Right?
Right.
He asked if you ever wrecked an Infiniti. Right?
Right.
And you said no.
Right.
Okay. I'm going to publish, Your Honor, with your permission, DS-19B, which is a clip from the same interview on 378 Yankee Alpha, States Exhibit 378 Yankee Alpha, from 3/20/28 to 3/20/48. It's just 20 seconds.
This is a video?
Yes. 3/20/28 to 3/20/48.
20 seconds.
Y'all
It's not playing.
Gray. Y'all ever?
Is it up now?
No.
Okay. Could you start it over?
Y'all ever had a Infinity Gray, a Gray Infinity Q45 before? A truck? No. A cup? Yeah. Not I know of. I asked your brother, maybe his car. It would be a car he had rented or something like that. That's cool. That's cool.
Okay. In that clip, again, Detective Thorpe asked you about whether you ever had a Gray Infinity, correct?
Right.
And you said, not that I know of.
Right.
Okay. Those were your statements on January 11, 2015, hours after Donovan Thomas was shot, correct?
Right.
Okay. I want to talk to you about the reality. The reality is that you asked Jeffrey Williams to rent you a Gray Infinity, correct?
I'm listening.
Or I should say you asked him to rent you a car and it ended up being a Gray Infinity, correct?
I'm listening.
Okay. The reality is that on the night of June 9th, going into the morning of June 10th, the same day that Donovan Thomas was shot, you were driving that Infinity on the highway, correct?
I don't know. I can't remember when I was driving it.
We just saw your testimony from earlier in this trial.
Yeah, but you being specific about the time. I don't know.
Okay. The reality is,
I don't know when I written on the expressway. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Do you agree that it was, I'm not asking for a time, do you agree that it was on the evening of January 9th? It was nighttime that you wrecked.
It was
correct?
nighttime.
You were speeding on the highway and you hit some cones.
I lost control, yeah.
And that was, I believe in your testimony, you said you wrecked the car. And let me be clear, Quindarius Zachary, Lil D from Cleveland, you know who I'm talking about?
Yes.
Lil D from Cleveland was in that car, that Infinity, with you on the night you wrecked.
Yes.
Okay. And after wrecking the car, you guys reattached the bumper on the side of the highway, correct?
How you know that?
Is it true?
Yo,
I'm listening.
Okay.
Yo.
And
this
after
dude,
you
what he said,
reattached the
how you
bumper,
know
that's
that?
when you went and pulled up on threat Trevante Turner at a music studio somewhere around Northside Drive, I believe is what you said.
Yes.
Correct? And you gave that car to that Infinity to Trevante Turner.
Yes.
Okay. And in your testimony, you said then you went home, fell asleep, and the next day you woke up, and that's when the Donovan Thomas shooting occurred. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm just working through this with you. I'm not trying to trick you. So based on your testimony, you were driving that car, that Infinity, on the evening of January 9th going into January 10th, correct?
I guess.
Of 2015 with Mr. Zachary.
I guess.
And you gave that Infinity to your good friend, Threat, in the early morning hours of January 10th, 2015, correct?
I gave it to him at nighttime. It was dark.
Okay. So you don't remember if it was before midnight or after midnight. Is that what you're saying?
I don't keep up with the time.
Okay, that's fine. The bottom line is you were specifically asked about that Infinity or an Infinity hours after Donovan Thomas was shot. And you denied ever being in possession of an Infinity, correct?
Say that again.
When you were asked on January 11th, early in the morning, talking to Detective Thorpe, when Detective Thorpe, the lead investigator of the Donovan Thomas murder, asked you about possessing a Gray Infinity, you denied that you ever had one, correct?
Right.
Okay. Let's talk about the gun at the Dunbar Rec Center? As I understand your testimony, or as I understand your statements, let me back up. I'm sorry. At the Dunbar Rec Center, we're talking about a Diamondback 223 assault rifle, correct?
Mm-hmm.
In Houston.
Rural pharmacies all across the country been selling the stolen drugs here on the streets of Houston. KHOU 11's Jalissa Garza is live from the 5th Ward with more on this case tonight. Jalissa?
Well, there are 42 people now charged in this crime ring, the 42 people from here in Houston's 5th Ward. Now, federal law enforcement say they were part of a group of people that broke into more than 200 pharmacies across 31 states. The latest allegations tied to a string of crimes that stretch from Texas to Arkansas and back.
Where in the early morning hours, they would shatter glass at pharmacy locations, low crawl on the floor to evade motion detectors, and systematically remove dangerous opioid, benzodiazepines, promethazine with codeine, and other scheduled medication from the pharmacy shelves.
Thursday in Little Rock, U.S. Attorney Jonathan Ross announced more Houstonians have been indicted in an alleged crime ring, accused of stealing millions of dollars worth of controlled substances.
On November 28th of 2023, the Little Rock DEA, along with numerous state and local law enforcement partners in Houston, Texas, arrested 18 organization members charged in the initial indictment, and on July 2nd of this year, a superseding indictment was returned by the grand jury in the Eastern District of Arkansas, charging 24 additional defendants in the conspiracy to distribute controlled substances for acts that occurred nationwide.
Officials say the stolen pharmaceuticals were brought back and sold right here on the streets of Houston. Authorities say the stolen drugs included things like oxycodone, hydrocodone, and an antihistamine with codeine cough syrup.
The street value of the controlled substances stolen in the burglaries is estimated at this time to be $12 million.
Law enforcement agencies from across the country, including HPD and the Harris County Sheriff's Office, involved in the takedown.
This is the largest pharmaceutical burglary case in DEA history. This was an investigation that spanned nearly 3 years.
As part of this investigation, authorities say they also seized 11 guns, nearly $80,000 in cash, and custom jewelry worth $500,000. Live tonight in Houston's 5th Ward, Jalissa Garza, KHOU 11 News.
The largest DA bust of its kind in history. My goodness, Jalissa, thank you.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. It's all good. You good? Yeah. You all right? Yeah. Everything's all good. Yeah. What's good?
Federal agents announced today the largest case involving pharmacy burglaries in the history of the Drug Enforcement Administration. The DEA administrator tells us that agents have arrested dozens involved in stealing opioid prescription drugs from local pharmacies in more than half the states in our country, including all 3 Siouxland states. KCAU 9's Washington correspondent Jesse Chinur reports on the Operation Low Crawl.
It's like something out of Mission Impossible.
What started as a string of pharmacy burglaries in Arkansas ended with the takedown of a large drug trafficking organization based in Texas.
They were stealing prescription drugs so that they could sell them to people on the street.
The head of the Drug Enforcement Administration, Ann Milgram, announced Operation Low Crawl Thursday.
They would basically be on their bellies on the floor of the pharmacy to try to detect the sensors.
Milgram says the operation, spanning several years, connected 200 burglaries at mom-and-pop pharmacies across 31 states, with more than $12 million worth of stolen prescription drugs. Operation Low Crawl ultimately resulted in 42 arrests.
Most of these defendants are appearing in U.S. District Court here in Little Rock this afternoon.
Jonathan Ross, the U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Arkansas, says investigators also seized 11 firearms, nearly $80,000 in cash, and more than $500,000 worth of custom jewelry.
Which are proceeds from the sale of stolen pharmaceutical drugs.
Ross and Milgram stressed they couldn't make the announcement without also addressing the opioid epidemic in the country.
Because the top drug that they were stealing was oxycodone.
Milgram says the drugs in Operation Low Crawl were not fake, but usually it's hard to tell until it's too late.
One pill can kill. Never take a pill that wasn't prescribed to you. If somebody is selling what they claim is an oxy on the street, the likelihood today is that it's actually fentanyl.
In Washington, I'm Jesse Tenor.
I know. Looks a little out of it, don't she? Look a little out of it. You want my personal space. Take it easy. Take it easy now. Take it easy.
New at 6 tonight, the Drug Enforcement Administration says it has uncovered the largest case of pharmacy burglaries in history.
Agents have arrested dozens of people in stealing opioid prescriptions from local pharmacies in more than half the states in the country. And Kansas is one of them. 27 News Washington correspondent Jesse Tenor reports on Operation Low Crawl.
I guess she got her medication.
It's like something out of Mission Impossible.
What started as a string of pharmacy burglaries in Arkansas ended with the takedown.
We already hit this one. I think, you know what I'm saying?
Here in Houston's 5th Ward. Now, federal law enforcement say they were part of a group of people.
Hey, I gotta get it where she starts singing. You know what I mean? She just starts singing. You know what I'm saying? And she back. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. All good. Yo, what's happening? Hold up. Stop playing with me. Let's see what's going on. I'm tweaking. What they say Charleston White did. Let's see what they say Charleston White did something.
They think Mo 3 was something. Mo 3 ain't got shit. Man, please. They thought Mo 3 had their ass running scared. They didn't just start coming outside till Mo 3 died. Yeah, he didn't just start coming outside. I've been outside. These pussy ass niggas want to try to play tough now that Mo 3 did. Nigga, I'm way worse than Mo 3. Nigga, I'm way worse than Mo 3. Nigga, them niggas gave me a reason, to start back liking Mo 3 again, nigga. Nigga, I done flip-flop again. I was just sitting with Yellow Bees. Me and Trap Boy Freddy done that motherfucking.
Yeah, C-Dub going hard. Yeah, he going too hard for that. Yeah, he going too hard. I'm tweaking out. Judge Mathis talking about it. Let's see this one here. Hold up.
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I want to ask.
I'm not good. Rather, it's the worst days of my life. How about that?
Okay. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I wanted to ask you. With news of the separation, how are you holding up?
Not holding up very well. I would say to other men, maybe I'll be an example for other men, cautionary tale. Don't neglect your wife. See how many at the airport now, flying out, as I have for 40 or for 25 years. My wife has been third, serving the community, taping my show, having fun with friends. That's what happens, guys. Never be too busy or never have too much fun beyond your wife.
So I do want to ask, the date of separation is listed back in July 17th. Has this been coming for some time now, or was it something out the blue?
Well, ever since we started taping here in LA, I committed to staying home more and making my wife more of a priority. But as you see, I haven't. I'm still here on the road, doing the same thing. And in terms of going out into another city. But I was gone for 3 weeks. That's what July 17th meant.
Would you say you two are in a good place right now, or able to maintain a friendship? Or
Oh yeah, we're still in the same house and we're maintaining a friendship. And I'm trying to get my wife back. I have to show her that though. Hopefully I can show her while we're there together before, and hopefully she doesn't complete the process. But I'm changing in hopes that she will. I'm gonna get my wife back. How about that? Absolutely. I just wanted to eliminate all them rumors too, that it's something about a baby or even me molesting a child. It's none of that. I've just told you what it is.
There were also, kind of some rumors of any infidelity. Did you want to clear that up at all? You say it's solely neglect.
Well, neglect can create suspicion, certainly. And if you're gone as much as I am, you have every right to suspect. You go to work, you go serve in the community around the country, then you go with your guys to sporting events around the country, you go to other events except without your wife hanging with you and enjoying herself with you. And so, yeah, she would have a right to suspect infidelity.
But there was none of that going on.
That's not the purpose. That's not the reason for this.
Hey. All right. Let me see here. Hey. How are you today? Are you okay? I'm just fine. I'm doing okay. Okay, you doing okay? All right, you're okay. Hey. Such a good day. Hey.
Charged appeared in court for the first time. But as our Stephanie Quirk is here to explain, this is not her first run-in with the law.
Yeah, Bria, 24-year-old Demarius Wade is charged with second-degree reckless homicide. And investigators say this all happened because Wade intervened on a different fight between a couple with a history of domestic violence.
This was the scene near 8th and Orchard early morning on July 19th. Officers investigating the beating death of a 44-year-old man on the city's south side.
It's extremely violent. It caused the death of an individual.
But prosecutors say it all happened when the suspect intervened in a different fight.
We acknowledge the severity of the crime and the way the state characterized it as an intervention.
On that morning in July, investigators say 24-year-old Demarius Wade spotted a man become violent during an argument in an alley. The man's on and off girlfriend told police he pushed her down, hit and dragged her while she screamed at him to stop. That's when Wade jumped in and began to fight the man, telling the woman she was protecting her.
This video recovered that Miss Wade was seen striking the victim in this case 22 times in the head.
The complaint says Wade beat the man until his face turned blue. He died at the scene.
Cause of death was found to be blunt force trauma.
Wade is charged with second-degree reckless homicide. While it's her first time being accused of killing someone, court officials say it's not her first run-in with the law.
2016, another burglary. In 2016, criminal damage to property. And then in 2015, first-degree sexual assault with a child under the age of 13.
In the courtroom Saturday, a commissioner set Wade's bail at $85,000.
Commissioner, we believe high cash is appropriate in this case, given the severity, given her criminal record, and given the protection of the public. Thank you.
Now, Wade is due back in court next Friday on August 23rd. Bria?
Thanks, Steph. I know you will stay on top of the case.
Oh, so it's not 50, 150. 150, 150 or something. Yeah.
That's your life, you're gonna have to fight to do that, to kill off my bloodline. You're gonna have to fight for that, nigga. You're not just about to be able to. And my wife ain't been. I think it's behind this. I think it's behind the gay
look
shit.
at that picture.
Oh God.
Do you see that picture? Or is it just Corey Holcomb being some paranoid fool? Do you see that picture? You can't fool me with no picture like that. That picture is moist.
It's just different.
That's a moist ass picture.
You think they off of this?
I'm trying to tell you, homie, if you don't know, okay, Corey crazy. Let's just say something wrong with Corey. But in Corey's eyes, I see. Hey, man, I see four, 5 beards up there. I'm just keeping it a buck.
Man.
Them beards sitting down, dog. I'm trying to tell you, I'm from the motherfucking streets. That picture moist than a motherfucker, dog.
Who's the white lady?
That ain't the one who was with Jordan.
No, that's a whole nother.
Right, that's a whole nother lady. She got the bigger face.
They changed the picture. It's not the other people and their wives.
She got the face like Elmer Fudd. Oh, that wabbit.
I'm just saying they're a different type of people. I mean, they're not.
Show the one with Jordan in there. Show Jordan broad again.
It's just not his flavor. That's all.
See, I'm gonna break these pictures down. I know what's happening. Now, Judge Mathis and his wife, you would never think they would be on the divorce thing right now. But he in Hollywood, and he brought his wife to the devil's lair. He delivered her to the devil.
Jordan, the only one that, well, I might be. Jordan.
Let's break down Jordan next.
Jordan,
what do you see with the Jordan picture?
He the only one that look happy for real.
Jordan got him a long, small face, bitch.
Jordan look happy, dog. He look younger too.
Anybody can look.
He look like he in his late 40s in this picture.
He got him a slender face.
Yeah.
Eat his ass after he hoop, bitch. Is that wrong? Do we disagree with that?
No, that ain't wrong.
We ain't got to say nothing about the ones in the middle. That story has been told.
You know why Nita probably called 4-5 times while they was. What y'all up to, Jordan's ex-wife?
Hell no.
I don't think she's
somewhere fucking destroyed right now.
Is she? 250 million?
She destroyed.
Grandma.
Them niggas, that bitch a lick out here in these streets, dog.
Yeah, man.
All them bitches who come with money they got from a nigga. They a lick.
Yeah.
You don't know about Nicole Murphy?
I heard.
Lick.
Yeah.
Them niggas worked that bitch out of all that money.
She spent it all.
Scandalous ass. Now, what's the next picture? Samuel Jackson. She ain't going nowhere.
Nah. Anytime y'all used to do dope together, that's forever.
Wait, what?
They said couples.
No, what he said is real. It's just motherfuckers hate.
They said couples are the best couples.
They solid.
If a couple do the same drugs, they will never break up.
Now, the next nigga.
We
I don't know who that
know
is.
who that is. Wait.
I don't know who that is.
That picture don't look moist to you, boy?
I mean,
they're just different. What's so moist about it? They just because they know
what's moist about it.
No, when you say moist, tell me what made you say that? In other words, first thing that came to your mind: style of dress, how someone looks. I mean, I'm not what. They're just different from you. They don't have the 50 and 50 camo hat on. They don't have no shit. Jordan might have some Jordans on. I was saying Jordans or some.
He holding her shoulders like he like to asshole fuck.
Oh Lord God! Somebody can't.
Y'all asked me. I'm trying to tell you. Look at how he and Samuel Jackson got them shoulders. That's asshole fucking hole.
Man, Mathis might run up on you, man.
I ain't talking about methods like that. You lost your bitch, homie. You was on TV talking about everybody else's problem. Your bitch gone. What? That ain't nothing to be mad about.
Yeah.
If he be mad at me about that, what are you gonna do? Cry? I ain't against Judge Mathis, man. I'm just talking about what they going through. That picture says a lot. God damn it.
Because
that picture show me he love his wife.
Yeah, I think he love her. Yeah, for sure.
Jordan showing his little trophy bitch off because he old now. That bitch don't look like nothing that come from him.
Right.
That's a deficiency he got. We not finna go into the other people because with that story, like I said, that story is told. But I'm just saying, Samuel Jackson, dude, they got the fucking shoulder hole going right there.
I can't.
I don't know if you know that.
And if their hand, I can't.
This is how you do me, ho. You do me like I'm doing you.
I'm just saying. I might have just lost a TV deal right now. I don't give a fuck. Well, I'm telling you the truth.
It's acting.
All because the husband's resting his hands on his wife's shoulder. My God.
Them bitches, this is what they said. Wrong hole. Bitch, I know what I'm doing. It is the right hole. That's the hole I'm looking for.
It's a hole in one.
Right.
Yeah, that's interesting. We need to get a body language expert on the
girls
show.
Be like on training day. I had my shit pushed in big time holes.
You got to get one of them body language experts to come on the show.
Right. Thank you.
You know, yeah.
I'm one, but I ain't accredited.
Oh, wow. You are one.
Look at this bitch. What is this bitch?
That's the same, the trip. Like they're just on a different position on the boat.
Yeah, I heard about that boat trip, boy.
Stop.
I heard about that boat trip. It's just, man, don't nobody want to be getting into it with them people because we don't want enemies, but I heard about that boat trip. See, whenever I go to the rooms in Hollywood, I feel the awkward shit. They be like, oh, there go that nigga. Because of the shit I talk. But I always show them me in love and respect what I see them, man. The whole Hollywood premiere.
Right.
I know you moist while you talking to me, but I ain't acting funny with you. Because I got love for my brothers and sisters. I got love for you. But if you're moist, you're moist.
Yeah.
I was in this store the other day, this Dillard's. This dude kept hitting me on the shoulder while he was talking. And then after a while, he had bump shoulders with me. I was like, hey.
Well, he wasn't reading that. You didn't give him a face when he first tapped.
No, when he first touched my shoulder, I tried to be cool. Then he touched it again. I was like, oh, he getting comfortable. Then he bumped shoulders with me on the next one. And he said he go to church a lot. I was like, this some.
Oh, wow.
Man, put your pants on, man. We in the store, nigga.
Right. This ain't right.
Yeah.
That ain't how people do. You don't touch nobody's shoulder. See, it's a, what can I get away with? Then you touch him hard the next time. Then you bump shoulders. Yeah. You got to check him.
Yeah.
Because he think I don't know. I know. That ain't how men do when they talk. Why are you on me? Get up off me. Don't come that close again. I'm going to elbow you.
Right. I don't dig when anybody's like that. Like, wait a second. You're not reading that? Like, that's my personal, like, space. In the store, I used to be walking up a little further. Or how about when somebody bum rushes you, though? Like, you see somebody and they come in, whoa. Like, I was just coming in with the hand and people that, I don't like that.
D, do you watch Cam Newton podcast?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to do it.
You should.
I don't even do people podcasts, but I do Cam Newton podcast.
You should. Why not?
Cam Newton, when he came out, he was the best player in college football, like, hands down over everybody. This man, if you ask me, he won a national championship by being half the team.
And he's really
he
good.
He did the same thing in the NFL.
He's really good.
He went to the Super Bowl with no superstars. Am I right?
Yeah, he was an exceptional talent.
I am honored to be having a conversation with Cam Newton.
Good.
But he just recently had this lady on his show. And
which one? Because he's done a couple of them.
I am not going to say her name right because I'd be so frustrated. Every time I get her name, I say it wrong. But she calls herself Dr. Let me make sure I got this right because I don't want to say this shit wrong. I do not want to say this thing wrong. I'm going to say her name wrong. Is it Dr. Bryant?
Light skinned lady, brown skin.
She was on Zoe's show with me one day.
Oh, I don't know.
Pretty.
Yeah, she was pretty. She was pretty. You seen this interview?
No, I ain't seen the interview, but I know who she is. She's a
Find a picture of that interview.
She's like a psychologist or something like that. Yeah.
That's what she say. That's what she say. Right there. That's who you talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I haven't seen that
She
one.
cold.
Dr. Bryant. I was right. Doctor of what? Who you think you're talking to? See, I ain't stupid. I'm not stupid. I know how life really work. It's people capping about what they're a doctor of. I did the research a little bit, and you gonna have to show me what are you a doctor of? People be getting these motherfucking degrees. I'm a pastor. I had to pay the little fee.
Well, they didn't talk about it on the show.
little
Like
$200.
No, nobody asked her, what are you a doctor of? And where did you graduate to get this alleged doctorate?
You said the same school Dr. Dre went to.
Because, right, she's a Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre is more of a doctor than she is.
Ruthless Records, International School of
I
Business.
mean, like, I'm not stupid. You can't put an online degree in my face and think I'm not going to do the research of it. I don't like when people perpetrate doctor. I'm a doctor. Yeah, right. Doctor of what?
Doctor of love.
Dr. Duncanstein.
She might be legit, though. You want to have her come on the show?
She a bust down.
How do we know? Oh, you watched the show?
You don't know her history?
No, I don't even know. I've never heard of the name. So
See, this is what I didn't like. It was a whole bunch of people saying that she was schooling the brother Cam. And I listened to her talk.
What was the main?
She say the main, all she do is repeat all of the stuff that the feminists repeat.
Oh, she a feminist. Oh, wow.
It's
That's bad.
feminist type of behavior. Cam Newton was talking about how he got 8 kids and he has no desire to be married.
Yeah, he's always said that. Mm-hmm.
Oh, now he's a dirtbag. But I bet you Cam Newton, kids ain't wanting for shit.
Right.
Where her kids at?
Why would you be rich and married, though?
Right, but where your kids at, man? Do you got kids? Who are you and what are you doing? I'm the one who see through you. Doctor of what? I done checked it out. Doctor of what? People want to fuck you. That's why you're on there. It's some baboon face bitches claiming they're a doctor. They ain't never on the real shows. People want to fuck you. That's all you are is. You see how you dress? Like,